Aloha, Scott Sylvan Bell coming live from Sacramento, California, April 17th, 2017, 6:40 at night. Perfect day to talk about sales. Even though today is tax day in the United States, it is a perfect day to talk about sales. And I want to remind you of something, and this is super important. Sales is tough. Sales is tough. And if you're thinking about getting into sales, or you're looking at sales, or you've been in for a little bit, and you're like, oh, why are things going weird? Or you've been in sales for a while and things aren't going well, I'm going to remind you, Scott Sylvan Bell right here, sales are tough. Now, the reason I bring this up is I was on Facebook the other day, and there was a real estate agent, and the real estate agent took screenshots of the conversation that they had with a buyer. Now, there's three things that work against you in the sales process: time, energy, and effort. Because if you're thinking, hey, if I put time, energy, and effort into my sales process with somebody, they can reject me. So rejection comes from the more time, energy, and effort that you put into something, the easier it is for you to be rejected. You've been in a relationship for a long time, there's time, energy, and effort. The person leaves you, easy for you to be rejected. So a lot of salespeople will push out and exclude people before they even get into buying mode, because then they're worried about rejection, which isn't really rejection, it's regret, okay? I got another video, I'll link to it down in the box below for you to check that out. But what happened on the screenshot was, you could see that the conversation had been going on, and the person who was supposed to be the buyer said, hey, look, I went with a different agent. And it was like, a little tiny, nice message. Sorry, I know you spent a bunch of time with me, but I went with another agent. And then the salesperson, the want-to-be salesperson who was not professional, went off on the buyer. Hey, look, I spent a bunch of time with you, and this is horrible of you. I'm not happy with you. And they used some pretty abrasive language, and, just... They put a big message. They put a big message about why it wasn't cool. And there was like 80% of the sales population was like, yeah, you're a monster, you're an animal. And then like the 20% and some of the people that I know were like, hey, look, that's part of sales. That's part of what it is. And if you're thinking that you're going to get into sales and everything's going to be magical and ponies and rainbows and unicorns and butterflies, whoa. Probably the wrong industry for you. And as a sales trainer, that told me everything that I needed to know about that person. I made a lot of judgments based upon what they said and what they did with the buyer. And some of the people that I know made some judgments on the screen and said stuff. And the guy pushed back and says, you don't know anything about me, that's not cool, but I gotta let you know. If you take out your frustrations on a buyer and you're like, hey, I'm going to be unprofessional about it, it just shows where you're at as a salesperson. Now, you could disagree with me, and that's perfectly cool. That's perfectly fine and normal. I don't have a problem with that, right? But there's also a point where you got to look at it from an outside perspective. That told me everything I needed to know. That guy is not a closer. That guy lost it at the moment when he should have held everything together. He could have been a little bit more elegant about it and said, hey, look, I'm disappointed. I'm sorry. I spent a bunch of time, energy, and effort with you. But moving forward in the future, if you got anything, let me help you out, right? But no, he completely just blasted the person that he was talking to. And the reason why this is a challenge is because now all that person has to do, the buyer that didn't go with him, takes a screenshot and starts showing it to everybody. It says, hey, look, this is a type of interaction that I get from this real estate agent or this salesperson or this buyer, whatever industry. I don't care what industry, whatever industry you're in, fill in the blank, put it right here. I'm just saying real estate agent because that's what this example's from. So if you're struggling and you're not closing deals, start thinking, start asking the question, am I saying how much time, energy, and effort am I putting into this? Because if I put a ton in and that person rejects me, now I'm going to be hurt, okay? Now, I'm not saying don't go out and don't look and see what needs to be done, but if you're automatically looking for reasons to exclude people, I talk about this a lot. If you're looking for a reason to exclude a person quickly and just like, I don't want to work with them, chances are really good you're stepping over money and somebody's stepping behind you and they're taking it. It's not always, sales isn't always easy. It's not. And if it was, there would be a ton of people in this industry that don't belong. Sales weeds people out. That's what you need to know. Sales will weed out the people who do not belong. And it may take a couple of months, it may take a couple of years, but eventually sales is going to tell you. It's like a magic 8 ball. The magic 8 ball of sales, you're going to pick it up and be like, do I belong in sales? Do my feelings get hurt? Nope, shouldn't be in sales. Magic 8 ball, do I belong in sales? Nope, can't, follow up. Magic 8 ball, do I belong in sales? Nope, because you're afraid that you can put in time, effort, and energy and the person's going to reject you, okay? So if this is you, just start thinking about, look, is this the right career for me, or can I change the path that I'm on? I believe that you can change the path that you're on. I believe in you, right? But if you're sitting there and you're stuck in your ways and you're saying, hey, look, I'm going to take out all my abrasive energy on the buyer because they didn't sell for things, there was reasons that salesperson did not sell. There's stuff that's not in the text messages that we don't know, right? I get that. But for the most part, I'm going to say that is a salesperson and not a closer. The world of sales can have him, right? He can defend himself. If he wants to say something on this channel, that's cool. I got a problem with it, right? It's just how it is. I'm a sales trainer. I see this every day. I see people who do not belong in sales for whatever reason. And it's going to hurt their feelings. Like, I'm not here to like make you happy. I'm not here to give you all the good feelings. I'm not here. There's a saying that I want to use, but I'm not going to use it on YouTube, right? I'm not here to do that. I'm not that guy. And if you think that I am, I'm sorry, right? My job is to tell you what's up. If you think that if you put in time, effort, and energy that you're going to get rejected and you're not going to do what you need to do, chances are sales is not for you. Go work somewhere else. Go do something where you get paid by the hour. The risk is why you get paid so much in sales. Because, you always have that yes or no. Somebody who makes a couple bucks an hour, there's no risk. They go to the job, they're like, I put my 40 hours in, I got my 20 hours, I made $1,600 last month, or whatever the math works out to be, okay? That's $3,200, whatever that math is. There's no risk involved in that. If you're in sales, there's tons of risk, which means that you're going to get rejected, which means it's not going to be easy, which is cool for salespeople because it weeds people out and pushes them out of the marketplace, okay? There you go. Sales is rough, sales is tough, it's going to hurt your feelings. Now, if you could do a small favor for me, in the box down below, leave a comment, question, or story, that'd be fantastic, right? I hurt some people's feelings, I know that I did. Leave me a comment, don't hate on me, right? Tell me why you think I'm wrong. I'm cool with that, but if you want to call me names and tell me I'm bald, I already know that, right? I already know I'm bald, okay? To the right or to the left, there's a subscribe button. You know what you got to do. You got to subscribe. And then you can send it out to all your friends via StumbleUpon, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. Why not even LinkedIn? You know that somebody is in your LinkedIn profile that's a friend that they need to see this video. Send it to them. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Aloha.